There have been several instances where people stand helplessly over accident victims, confused about what to do next. Sadly, situations that should not claim lives often end in tragedy simply because no help was rendered. Minor injuries like burns, bites, or stings can quickly become critical when the right first aid is not administered. This is a general challenge across Nigeria in workplaces, marketplaces, churches, crusade grounds, and even homes. Many people lack the necessary knowledge to intervene when emergencies arise, leading to avoidable loss of life or situations becoming more critical than there should be. In Nigeria, where hospitals are sometimes far away and emergency services are limited, knowing what to do in those first few minutes can save countless lives. Many are lost not because help was absent, but because it was misapplied. Studies and real life experiences demonstrate that when people possesses even basic first aid knowledge, they can stop bleeding, keep someone breathing, or prevent a condition from worsening until medical experts arrive. Living and working in Nigeria, we are constantly aware that accidents, whether domestic or on the road, can happen at any time. We also know from experience that many lives are lost simply because people around us do not know the proper steps to take in an emergency. It is against this background that our organization, Ignition 633 Ministries, has recognized the need to equip our outreach department staff with proper first aid training. And we have our Director of Human Resources to talk more about this.
The ministry is interested in providing our staff with the required knowledge they need to excel in their role, which has led us in the completion of a 3-day intensive first aid training for our outreach department. Our outreach department consists of the volunteers, the pastors, the outreach coordinators, and the football coaches. Our football coaches need this training to enable them respond to emergencies with our footballers. The outreach team, which are the volunteers, the pastors, and everyone who goes with them during their outreaches in the internally displaced camps, they get this knowledge to be able to also respond to emergency treatments. During this training, they learned that the purpose of first aid is to save life, to prevent death, and to aid recovery. Some other persons were also included in these trainings, namely the principal of the crèche. He needs this training to be able to pass it down to his staff, and then also for them to be able to respond to children's need in terms of emergency health challenges. Of course, we know that first aid is not treatment in itself, but it is an assistance from a skilled person. And this is why these persons were selected for the first batch of these trainings to go over these things to enable them respond adequately when the need arise. We also had the leader of the church children team join this training because children often play a lot, and of course, one time or another, they might encounter bruises and whatnot. So these trainings are very important, and they will keep coming batch by batch, because like I said, the ministry is very interested in ensuring that our staff are well equipped with the needed knowledge and skill to excel in their role. This skill will not only help them in the workspace, it would also help them outside there when they encounter challenges. They learn about how to handle open wounds, how to handle bites and stings, electric shocks, how to manage health challenges, epilepsy, um, you know, asthma, and the likes of it. It was a very rich training, and all of the trainees had a lot of testimonies and a lot of things to learn. It consisted of the theoretical aspect and even the practical aspect, where staff practicalized everything that was taught to them. every single person was able to visually, we could see literally every single person practicing all that they learned, and it was such a blessing.
I am Gabriel Anjov, the Divisional Secretary, Nigerian Red Cross Society, Makurdi Division. I am invited to give a stage to people of IGNITION633. And it is not supposed to be only them, because the knowledge they are acquiring is going to serve them for their family, their co-workers, and the general public. It is a thing that everybody is supposed to be acquainted with the knowledge of first aid, so that at any given point it happens, he is supposed to act immediately. At least do something before transporting the person to the hospital. We have come, but the time is not enough. If it was enough, we would have given them more skills. However, the one we've given them will be sufficient enough to handle some of the minor emergencies. After all, we don't treat, we render first aid. And as we say, first aid does not end with the first aider. It is supposed to be continued in the hospital or in a clinic or with a health practitioner. We are not people that treat, we only render first aid. And so we are calling on both the members of Ignition 633 and the general public to invite us to acquaint them with this knowledge, so they could be helpful and sustain people's life and stop condition from getting worse, and then promote recovery and transport to the hospitals. Thank you.
And as a member of the outreach, I have learned how to, how to help out in emergency cases, common emergencies like fainting, choking, when someone is drowning, or when there's an epileptic patient in in the environment or wherever I find myself. So for me, as a person personally, it has helped me to know what to do when there is a home accident in my house, and then when I'm out there in the field, when dealing with either a child or an adolescent, and maybe there is a sudden situation, like maybe a child faints or is choking. This training has helped me to know the first skilled assistance to give before referring that child or adolescent to the hospital for proper treatment.
I just want to thank the ministry for providing this opportunity for me and my colleagues. I have been impacted skillfully under this workshop with the Red Cross Association of Nigeria. It has been a wonderful experience. They were practices I did before during encountering emergencies, like when somebody experienced a burn on his or her hand. We believe traditionally we apply salt, we look for bitter leaf, look for other things to apply on the burn, which I have finally gotten the knowledge that it is wrong. What we need to do is just pour running water across the wound from the spot above where the expected injury is. But most people pour it directly, which it creates more damage. So and we were taught in this workshop that first aid is meant to preserve life, promote recovery, and give quick response to the casualty. So if we are using those old method of traditional ways of putting salt, putting maggi, pepper, even frying people's hand, we are actually increasing damage and not preserving the life. And I have been blessed so much with this knowledge. And I just want to thank the ministry once again. I am very, very, very happy, as you can see my smile on my face. So I believe in this knowledge that I have acquired. When faced with such situations, such emergencies and such cases, whether be it at work or at the IDP camp as a member of the outreach department, I am confident and I'm sure enough that I've acquired the skills needed to address first aid cases when I meet them wherever I find myself. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am really grateful. Thank you.
This initiative will not only strengthen the safety of our staff, but also empower them to better serve the communities God has called us to reach. We thank God for the wisdom to identify this need, for providing the resources and facilitators for the training, and for granting our staff the eagerness to learn. We pray that the knowledge gained will not just remain in their mindsets, but will help save lives whenever the need arises. We ask the Lord to continue to keep our outreach staff safe as we travel from one location to the other, preaching the love of Christ to people. And even as we serve in different communities, and that through both our words and our action, many will experience the love of Christ.